I'm having family over for Thanksgiving dinner, and I better not think about inviting anyone to this house unless I'm putting some macaroni and cheese on this table. So if you want to see my family favorite macaroni and cheese, keep watching. Welcome to This and That with Denise Jordan. I teach women to make wise home, health, and beauty decisions. And if you want to learn more about running a household, subscribe. Or if you want to see reviews about products that can benefit you in your home, subscribe. Because I do videos about those topics all the time. So hit that subscribe button and tap that little bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. But definitely check out the show notes in the description box below, because that's where I'll link my favorite housekeeping and gardening solutions. Okay, let's make some mac and cheese. Macaroni and cheese is one of my favorites. So whenever there's a family gathering and people are saying, well, what do you want to bring, or what are you going to bring? It's always, Denise, you bring the mac and cheese. What can I say? People just love my recipe. And I'm going to share that recipe with you today, and I'll even show you my secret sauce. So let's get it started. First of all, you will need some macaroni, and I like the Creamex brand. You can use other brands, but I just always buy this one. 1/4 cup of butter, and you need 2 cups of carnation milk. And again, any kind of evaporated milk will do, but I always buy carnation evaporated milk. 2 eggs and 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. Now, if you like to mix it up a bit, you can use a combination of cheeses. You can use some shredded cheddar, a little bit of jack cheese. You can even add a third kind. You can do a 3 cheese mac and cheese. But for this recipe, I'm just keeping it standard, keeping it real, shredded cheddar. And then my secret sauce is a Heinz chili sauce. It adds just a little bit of zing, just a little bit of flavor. Doesn't make it spicy, doesn't make it hot. It just makes it that much better. Oh, and of course, a little salt and pepper. So now let's get it started. I'll fill a pan with water, bring it to a boil, and then I will cook the macaroni until it's al dente. Now I've already got my oven preheated to 350 degrees, so as soon as that water comes to boil, I will put in the 2 cups of macaroni. While the water is boiling, I'm going to go ahead and butter this casserole dish. That way it'll be ready. And you can use a dish this size, even a little larger will work out just fine. Add just a little salt to the water, and we'll let that do its thing. Macaroni. There's only 2 cups of shredded cheddar in this bag, so I don't need to divvy that out. So 2 cups of milk. And I'm going to go ahead and put the eggs in this bowl, beat them just a little bit. This just saves me a little time when everything else is ready. teaspoon of salt, and now 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm going to go ahead and take just a little bit of cheese out of this package to reserve it to sprinkle on the top, because sometimes I can get carried away sprinkling the cheese and I end up having it all in the macaroni and none to just kind of garnish the top with. So let me just put a little bit, and I will use that to garnish the top. And I'll go ahead and slice this butter and have it ready to go. Just makes sense to maximize my time. And I'll also reserve just a little bit of butter to dot on the top of the mac and cheese. So there, I've just cut the butter up in little cubes. Now I'm just ready for the macaroni to boil. It's starting to bubble and popping, as Morgan said, so I can add the macaroni in just a minute. I'm going to add my macaroni to this boiling water. And it should take about 10 minutes. And as you can see, I've got another pot on the stove. I can't not cook something else while I'm waiting on the macaroni to cook. Since I've got family coming over, I got to keep it moving. So this is going to be used for something else. The macaroni is just about ready, so I'm going to go ahead and mix these wet ingredients together. It just helps expedite things. And then I'm going to add my salt and my pepper. So remember, I've already put 2 eggs in here and whisked them. Now I've added my salt and my pepper and my Carnation evaporated milk. Now I'll get that macaroni off the stove. Now this is the thing. You always want to give it a little stir, because there's always a little water that's kind of tucked inside the macaroni, and you don't need that extra moisture. I'm going to cool it down just a bit, because I don't want to cook my egg, but I still need it to be warm. There. Now the reason why you don't want to let it cook too long is because the macaroni is going to cook more in the oven, and you don't want it mushy. So I still needed it warm enough to start to melt the cheese, but not so warm that it scrambles my egg. So now I'll get this cheese stirred in. See how that's just kind of starting to melt down just a bit? But it's all throughout the macaroni. Okay, now let's put in our milk and egg mixture. And this is the size dish that I like to pour it into. You can use a 9x13 or even something a little larger if you like, but this is the dish that I tend to make macaroni in. I have another one too that I'll often use. Let's get the butter in. save that to dot on the top. But this part's going inside. I really should have put that butter in when I put in the cheese while the macaroni was at its hottest, but this will work out just fine. Now for my secret sauce, my Heinz chili sauce. And I just like to add just a dollop, just a quick dash. Stir it up. And it doesn't even change the color, but it certainly adds a lot of flavor. So now let's get that poured into the dish. You see how nice and liquidy that is? Now we're going to sprinkle some cheese on the top. This was the cheese that I had reserved to set aside. Now some people like their macaroni and cheese a little bit cheesier, so they like to sprinkle more cheese on top, and I think I'm one of those people. And then I'll just dot a little butter. We'll let that cook for about 30 minutes on 350. Well, I've had these in the oven, this one for about 30 minutes, this one's only 20, so I'm going to go ahead and take this one out. I'm going to let this one bake for about another 10 minutes, and we'll be good to go. So there you have it, golden macaroni and cheese that is just absolutely amazing.